It was a rainy day today, but it's cleared up. It's slightly cooler, not a lot, but it's good enough. I figured I'll just take a little time and head over to Winn, Dixie. Maybe catch some more of that pork shoulder that's on sale. I've been feeding some of it to the cat. It's cheaper than beef, and he seems happy with it, so, you know, every little bit counts. Anyway, I'm still kind of impressed at what a good amount of response I had from my Saturday morning live. I'll definitely be doing another one next week, as long as I'm here and haven't had a heart attack by then. So we'll see. Let's see here. There we go. That's actually going to be kind of a nice little routine if I start doing it more often. I still go on the multiple live streams. It's a great way to introduce myself to other people, but there's nothing like the one-on-one chat experience, in my opinion. Anyway, so let's talk about some ideas here. One thing that I'm thinking about doing is to make a list of subjects that I want to cover. Now, there are several things that I want to do. Obviously, the carnivore stuff, sure. But there's more to it than that. What I've noticed about the YouTube videos, what seems to be really popular, other than the clickbait crap, is that some people, they just love to see a sort of a success story, underdog to winner, that kind of thing. That's why the carnivore diet seems to be so popular. People have all these health issues, have been suffering for years, they have no hope. They try the carnivore diet, and wow, the problems are solved. Of course, it's not that simple. And the more and more people you see go online, you're going to realize that the carnivore diet is not the solution for all your problems. It's just another tool in the toolbox. You see stories of people sort of, starting the diet and then failing and then trying again and failing over and over again. And then they just turn that into the subject of their channel. And again, that's fine. That's what you want to do. And I see last night on the Homestead How channel, they're talking about, how some people fail and the whole clickbait thing and whatever. And I understand that. But I want to concentrate on what we can do right now that makes sense. And there's several options. Not a whole lot of them, but there are options. If you have health issues and the carnivore diet can help you, that's great. But what if you're somebody like me who's never had chronic health issues and is on the carnivore diet just as a form of protest? And what if that example was not really helpful to somebody else? Well, guess what? We all have our little things that we need to deal with. And one of them would be very simple. All you have to do, what is that? Oh, a junk barbecue. Was that a generator? Interesting. I gotta check this out. Must be selling a generator. Anyway, there's just a lot of people out there that have problems, and not all of them are diet related, obviously. That's interesting. 5250, that's wishful thinking. Well, I don't know. Should I pick it or not? Turns. Interesting. Oh well, I got enough junk already. Anyway. It'll probably be there when I come back. Well, maybe not. Gotta resist the urge to keep picking. But anyway, you got a lot of people out there that have different needs, and there's always somebody out there that has a problem that needs solving. If you can solve it on your own, that's great. But what if you're a person that really needs help? I can relate to that. See what I'm doing? Riding a bike. Why am I riding a bike? Well, it's because my truck quit on me a year ago. I have my van, but the transmission isn't great. But hopefully, with the help of a friend, I'll have an engine for the truck before I know it. And I'll be back on the road. But on the good side, despite all the challenges that I've had in the last few years, my health has held up just fine. Haven't had the heart attack. Haven't had an issue. My biggest problem has nothing to do with health. It's basically finances. Now, I'm actually not doing as bad as some people because I don't have any debt. And because of that, it's actually kind of a good thing. If I was in debt, I'd be in a real mess. So my biggest obstacle is just income and expenses. I'm very frugal. My biggest expense is property tax. That's over $10,000 a year, which is ridiculous. But that's because everything here is so overvalued. Income, that varies depending on the workday. But the biggest problem down here is that any kind of actual work doesn't pay very well. The only way you can make good money down here is to be a crook and cheat people. And I don't like that. That's not the way that I do things. You know that old saying, behind every great fortune is a great crime. Well, I don't want to be in that mode myself. So, what I'm going to concentrate on, in a very simple manner, is making some type of new business. Now, I have to figure out what it's going to be. Right now, I do odd jobs. I do handyman work. I do technical work. I do whatever comes my way. So the question is, should I specialize or should I continue to do what I'm doing? The other variable is location. Now, I live in what is basically a third world country. Very few people speak English, and wages are low, and we have a lot of people coming here all the time. So the supply of employees is infinite. All you have to do is go to the local Home Depot, and you'll see hundreds of people standing around outside looking for a temporary job. That's the way it is here. It wasn't that way when I was a kid, but it is now. So what does that mean for us? Actually, not a whole lot. Hopefully in the near future, things may change, but I'm not going to hold my breath. I think the trend is towards a decrease in living standards. It's been that way ever since I was a kid, starting in the 1980s. I can't see it getting any better anytime soon, without a total system collapse. And with that total system collapse, that brings another variable. What happens to us? If the system collapsed today, we would all be in bad shape. Lack of food, lack of energy, things could get really desperate. And again, it goes back to location. If you're in the right location, you should be able to make up for that. And even if you're in a bad location like this, you might be able to do certain things to minimize the impact. For example, knowing the right people, maybe storing some food, finding ways of getting energy, things that I've already done. But the problem with that, if you're one of the very few who's prepared for the disaster, you will eventually become a target and you will run out. It's only a matter of time. The way that we live, it's just not possible. Living in these homes and apartments and stuff like that, we don't have enough actual land to produce actual food that we can live off of. So having a network of people is important, and being located in a rural area, in my opinion, is the most important. There's just too many things that can go wrong here, and I really don't want to take the chance. So anyway, with that being said, hopefully everybody's been having a good weekend, and I'm over here near the Winn, Dixie, so we'll see if I can pick up some of that but that pork that's on sale, because if I don't eat it, my cat will. You know how cats love raw meat. I see the Big Lots is closing, even though the company said they were bought out. It looks like this store is gone, but as you know, it's an overpriced pile of crap anyway. So I'm gonna head into the Winn, Dixie. I'll catch you later.